Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our 5th grade graduation. If I can ask everyone to please find your seats. If I can ask everyone to please turn off or silence your cell phones. We do not want our program disrupted. And let's please welcome our graduates. Let's give another big round of applause to our graduating class of Tuf Shin Pei Daled. Welcome, parents, grandparents, family, friends, both those who were able to make it in person, those joining via the live stream. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Palgan, Rabbi Nyman, our administration, Rabbi Bauman, and Rabbi Alcabez, our middle school principal, Rabbi Gavriel Grossman. Of course, we also welcome the Rebbeim, teachers from this year, from previous years, Mrs. Berman, and our ACE teachers, of course, the Boys Lifeline in school, Mrs. Tamir. We've come to begin every one of our assemblies this year, our Erev Shabbos assemblies, by saying Tehillim for the situation in Eretz Yisrael, for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael. And we felt it appropriate to begin our graduation tonight with Tehillim as well. Rabbi Schnidman will be leading the Tehillim. Please give your attention to Rabbi Schnidman, and everyone please rise.
Lamnatseach mizmor leDavid. Yanecha Adonai b'yom tzara, Yisagevcha Shem Elohei Yaakov. Yishlach Ezrecha mikodesh u'mitzion yisadeka. Yizkar kol min chaysecha ve'oilasecha yidashin esela. Yiten lecha kilvavecha v'chol atzasecha yimalei. Niraninu b'shuasecha v'shem Eloheinu nidgol yimalei Adonai kol mish'aloisecha. Atoya dati ki Oishia Adonai Mishicha Yaneu Mishmei Kodshoi B'gvuros Yesha Yeminoi Eilev Arechev V'eilev Asusim Va'anachnu B'shem Adonai Eloheinu Nazkir Heima karu v'nafalu v'anachnu kamnu v'nisoydod Adonai Hoshia hamelech ya'aneinu v'yoim kareinu Achenu kol beis Yisrael anusunim atzorah v'shiv yoimdim bein bayam v'bein bayabasha mokim yirachem eleim v'yoytiyim mitzal revach me'feila liyarim mishiba l'gula hashto b'galov zman kariv v'neimar omein.
Hashem answer all of our tefillos. This graduation could not have come to be without the efforts of a number of individuals. Rabbi Wiener and his crew taking care of the physical plant, not only for today's event and not only on the South Campus, but for today's event and really throughout the year. This year, along with the usual challenges and logistics, having many of our events on this campus added a number of additional challenges. We thank Mr. Moshe Bitbol and his crew for helping things run as smoothly as possible. I want to thank our IT team under the leadership of Mr. Friedman and Mr. Berenbaum for videoing, setting up the live stream. We have to thank Mrs. Searle, who has set up so many of our special events this year, including our graduation trip, the Aschalas Gemara event earlier this year, and of course tonight's graduation. And we want to thank the PTA for purchasing the beautiful Siddurim that the boys will be receiving later this evening in their gift bags. Our yeshiva is led by our Rosh Yeshiva, who work hard and give of their heart and soul to their Talmidim. This evening we have a special zchus to hear our opening address from one of our Rosh Yeshiva, who's also here as a proud grandfather. On a personal note, I've gained so much from Rabbi Palgan's mentorship and guidance over the years. Please give your attention to Rabbi Palgan.
It says, Poskin b'kavod achsanya, you should always begin with the paying proper respect to the host. I'm not sure who the host is, but Rabbi Grossman, I'd make one correction on your introductory remarks. You thanked everyone except for Rabbi Grossman, so I'm going to please thank Rabbi Noam Grossman, our manal of the boys. Thank you for everything. You do everything in such a sweet way. I have a message for the graduates tonight. The pasuk says that in this week's parsha that Moshe was commanded by Hashem, KES HaLeviim, to take all the Leviim. What does it mean, take the Leviim? So Rashi says, tell the Leviim how special they are, how precious they are, how much they accomplished because they're doing the avod of Hashem. This was the mitzvah Hashem commanded Moshe to tell the Leviim how special you are. You are doing the avoda in the Beis HaMikdash. But boys, you probably already thought of the question. These Leviim, especially in the times of Moshe Rabbeinu, were pretty chashuv people. Don't you think they realized the great mitzvah they were doing, the avoda in the Beis HaMikdash? Don't you think they realized this was a fantastic mitzvah? Why would Hashem have to waste everyone's time to tell Moshe Rabbeinu, stop what he's doing and go tell Leviim that what you're doing is so special? And the answer, I think, explains, and I hope the boys are listening to me. I could actually check on the video if you're looking at me. But I want you to hear the answer. Because it isn't always so simple for people to appreciate the most obvious gifts they're given. Boys, look into the crowd. Look at everyone that came to tell you how special you are, what you accomplished. You had an amazing Haskalas Gemara. I was there. You're learning Gemara. There's a Beis Medrash just a few feet away from you on your left. You're learning Gemara. You're doing the avoda in the Beis HaMikdash. And probably, if not for everyone coming here tonight, your parents, your grandparents, all your relatives and rebbeim and teachers are all here, and your secretaries. They're all here because they want to tell you how special you are. And it's not obvious. We wouldn't appreciate it unless someone tells it to us. So we're all here to tell you boys how so special you are, how much confidence we have in you, that you're going to continue all the Torah, all the learning, all the midos tovos that you've been taught so beautifully by your Rebbeim, by your teachers, by everyone, and not just your 5th grade Rebbeim. It goes all the way back. We had so many graduations this week. It was so beautiful. One of the side benefits of not having any other space, I was able to just watch the kindergarten graduations and the high school graduation, the middle school graduation, and the 5th grade graduation. You see, if you stick with it, boys, you're going to become Gedolim. And this is the message that Moshe was telling the Leviim. You have the opportunity now. You're so special. Hashem loves you all. We all here, we love you so much. And we have so much confidence in you. And I give you a bracha that you shall all become Gedolei Torah B'Yisrael. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi Palgan. Our boys have, Baruch Hashem, grown so much during their time here in Torah MS. We're about to hear some of their reflections of their experiences during this time. The video, along with the rest of the videos that we're going to see this evening, would not have been possible without the superhuman efforts and expertise of Rabbi Mann. In addition to teaching 4th grade, running so many of our extracurricular activities, creating our weekly Derech newsletter, has pulled his magic yet again and put together these presentations. These are the boys' own words and thoughts. We're so proud to share with you our trip down memory lane.
One memory I have is the Mishnah's event. It was towards the end of the year in 3rd grade when we received our Mishnahs and a buffet breakfast. It was exciting and enjoyable.
One memory I have is Top Golf. It was my 5th grade trip. I had fun hitting the ball and talking with all my friends.
I remember the Birchas Yaakov event in 4th grade. My project was an ox that represented Yosef. It was very colorful and cool.
One of my favorite memories of Shushan Purim Carnival is to bring your costume.
One of my favorite memories was starting to learn Rashi.
One memory that I had from 4th grade is when we took a trip to Torres Chaim High School. We were playing their coach and I saw my brother. It was really fun and everybody enjoyed it and was happy.
One memory I have in 2nd grade is burning Sedona. We made small houses and actually lit them on fire.
I remember the morning meeting in 5th grade as a respectful place to share and play games.
One memory I have from 2nd grade is Tapuach Tuesday. Tapuach Tuesday was every Tuesday. Rabbi Roseman would bring apples in an apple sprite and would give it to us. The apples looked like a slinky and tasted really good.
One of my favorite memories from KES is butterflies with Mrs. Cardenas in 2nd grade. I remember the caterpillars in their cocoons hanging around their cage. It felt really exciting counting down the days till they turned into a butterfly.
One of my favorite memories of 1st grade was the 100th day of school. One of the things we did was every kid brought 100 of something and we shared it. This is one of my favorite memories because we all did it as one.
One of my favorite memories is finishing my first parsha. The day after I finished, I felt excited and proud, and afterwards my parents took me to a restaurant to celebrate.
One of my favorite memories from the Seder party is getting called up to stage and receiving my Seder. I almost did not get my Seder cover in time for the party because it took a lot of time to braid for the cover of the Seder. I ate a lot of food and my family was very happy for me.
One of my favorite memories from KES is Brachos with Rabbi Man.
I enjoyed practicing for the brachos and winning second place.
One of my favorite memories from first grade is the introduction to Chumash. The best part was the Chumash play. I felt very excited starting to learn Chumash.
One of my favorite memories from 5th grade was the graduation trip. First we went to Sky Zone and a lot of fun jumping with my friends. Then we went back on the buses and went to a water park. I had a lot of fun going down the slides.
One of my favorite memories from the food bank is collecting cans for about 75 days and then delivering the cans to the food bank. It felt really good to be helping others.
I remember when we made sushi in Mrs. Gill's 3rd grade class. We used rice, seaweed, and avocados to make it. It was fun and delicious.
One of my favorite memories from Rabbi Shiv's class were his barrel and shmuel stories. I remember when he would auction the opportunity of picking 3 items to be in the upcoming story. The barrel and shmuel stories were hilarious.
I remember the sukkah fair in 4th grade. The sukkah fair is a fair that everyone brings in the sukkah and shows it to people. It was so fun. I wish I could have it again.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the Chumash Mesiba in 1st grade because it was so fun and I was a step closer to Mishnayos and Gemara. I remember being so excited and ready to learn.
One of my favorite memories from KES was when we went to Lion Country Safari in 4th grade. We got to feed giraffes and we went on water slides that they had there, and we also went on a coach bus.
I remember going to Old Davy School in 5th grade and having so much fun.
One of my favorite memories from YTCT was a Scholas Gemara because of the dancing and cake.
One of my favorite memories from KES was in 2nd grade when we got 613 mitzvah messages. For our reward, we had an animal show party.
One of my favorite memories from KES was my first book report in 3rd grade. This is my favorite memory because it was really fun and we got to experience a real assignment, finally. I also got my first ever A+ from the book report.
One of my favorite memories from elementary school was my Kiddush Yitzchak project in 2nd grade because it was a very fun thing to do.
One memory I have is the Mishnayos auction where you learn Mishnayos and get points for great prizes. Everybody was cheering and being so loud. It was so fun.
I remember assuming from KES because when you work hard for something, you feel better getting a reward for it.
I remember the Shushan Purim Carnival. It had 2 big jump houses and a lot of sports. In 5th grade, it was rainy and it was fun.
One memory I have from KES electives is experiencing brachos. My favorite part about experiencing brachos was all the food and candy you get to eat.
One memory I had is playing dreidel at Sevivon Spectacular with jelly beans. Kids from other grades. It was really fun.
One memory I have is the walkathon that happened in every grade. One thing I liked about the walkathon is walking with my friends.
One memory I have from KES is recess. I enjoyed playing soccer and basketball with my friends.
One of my favorite memories from robotics is building the robot. It was very exciting to start building the robot with Mr. Shaffron. It was very exciting because I learned how to control a robot.
A meaningful memory from the Erev Shabbos assemblies is the stories. We had a raffle and it was fun seeing who won. I felt good we sang Shabbos songs. They were very nice.
One of my favorite memories from 1st grade was the Shine Midos program. A meaningful memory from Shine I remember was hearing the music start, the video goes on the screen, and everyone in the room watches the Rebbeim playing basketball. I enjoyed the program and hope there's something like it another time. One of my favorite memories of KES was the electives. There are different short classes like the Challah elective where you learn the halacha of making Challah and then each person gets a job to do. The reason I like electives is because it's fun and you learn at the same time. One of my favorite memories from YTCCE is field day. It's so fun playing all day and you get to walk into school in no uniform and have the best day ever.
A meaningful memory I have from the KES Mishnayos learning program. I remember when we learned a lot at the Mishnayos program. It felt good learning so much.
One of my favorite memories from 4th grade was tzitzis making. I remember when we sat in groups to help each other overcome the obstacles and challenges that blocked our paths. Many people didn't finish, but to be honest, overall it was a blast.
One of my favorite memories from 5th grade is the Mishnayos auction. First, the grade started learning Mishnayos to get points. After that, we all gathered in the tent and started bidding for prizes. 5th grade got 6 prizes. I like the Mishnah section.
One of my favorite memories from 4th grade with Rabbi Alkabez is playing schnitzel ball and standing on the satisfying thinking square.
One of my favorite memories from field day was the hot dogs. I also liked that my team won color war. That made me so happy.
One memory from YTCTE is the Mishnah program. Everyone earned lots of points from all the Mishnahs we learned.
One of my favorite memories from YTCTE is the electives program in 5th grade. Everything to do in the program was fun, whether it's sports or making food.
One of my favorite memories from KES was field day because there are so many fun activities. My favorite part of field day is color war because you compete against other teams in sports and games. And at the end they announce who won.
One of my favorite memories from YTCTE is electives. One of the best was experiencing brachos when we made milkshakes.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the Yedias Torah program. It was a fun program and it helped me remember the facts and figures I need to learn. I learned many things from it.
One memory I have from KES was when we learned about Gedolim with Rabbi Fladen in 1st and 2nd grade. Learning about Gedolim taught me a lot.
One of my favorite memories from KES is art. My favorite part of art was the flower painting.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the talent show. It was cool to be able to show everyone my talents.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the Mishnah section because it feels good to get a reward for learning a lot of Mishnahs.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the talent show because you get to see everybody else's talent, and that's why I think it's amazing.
One of my favorite memories from KES was the Purim Carnival because it had fun things to do and great activities.
I remember when we were doing the Shine program. The song was also very good. I think the Midas Much Hot Sauce video was funny.
One of my favorite memories from KES is the Yedias Torah program. It was fun when I finished level 2. It's my first time finishing it. I also really liked finishing level 3. It got me amazing prizes.
Let's give another big round of applause to our 5th grade boys and their trip down memory lane. Throughout the years here in Yeshiva and throughout this year, Yeshiva has benefited from strong leadership. Rabbi Bauman, with his wisdom, strength, and experience, keeps a laser focus on the needs of our Talmidim and how we can help them be their best. He's not swayed by trends, popularity, and his wisdom and expertise is sought out by senior mechanchim across the country. It's a privilege and honor to call upon our principal, Rabbi Bauman.
Thank you, Rabbi Grossman, Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbanim, parents, grandparents. I want to start off with a question. I want to know, is it better to try to be like everyone else, or is it better to be different? Don't worry, boys, no fair tonight. The answer, obviously, is it depends. Okay, it depends who the everyone else is and what they are thinking. We would like to blend in and be like everyone else if they're classmates in a yeshiva, if they're people who are with us in a shul, if they're fine people, the menschliche people, they're Torah dika people. Those are people who we want to be like. Obviously, people on the outside we don't want to be like. But even the people who we do want to be like, does that mean that we automatically go along with everything that they do, everything that they think? Is it a good thing to just go with the flow, go along with the stream, go along with the currents? Everybody's eating at that restaurant, must be fine. Everybody's teasing so-and-so, must be okay to do that. Everybody's damaging some kind of property. Yeah, we assume nobody owns it, nobody cares. Is that the kind of thing that's okay to go along with? So our rabbis tell us that if you were to go to a body of water, go to a river, go to a stream, and observe the fish in the river. So if you want to be sure that the fish is alive, don't look at the fish that are just going downstream, because they might not be alive. They're moving, they're going, but they might not be alive. However, if the fish is going against the stream, going against the current, then you know for sure that that fish is alive. And the same thing is true with people. Okay, if somebody doesn't just go along with what everybody else is doing, but they think for themselves, and they make a cheshbon, is this the right thing to do? Is this what I should really be doing? Is it just okay because everybody else is doing it, because that's what they're thinking? So, it's not necessarily so, because each person needs to know what is the Ratzon Hashem. What does Hashem want from me? What am I supposed to be doing? Not just because everybody else is doing it. And I would like to just share with you a story, which I think illustrates this. I saw this story in a book of stories. I actually want to thank Rabbi Shapiro Shlita, because the book says it's Rabbi Shapiro's story. So, okay, so I knew it was a good story. Story is as follows. There was a young man who was an exceptional Talmud Chacham. And it was his knowledge and his wisdom was unusual for somebody. He was a young man in his early 20s. And he went to different great Talmidei Chachamim, and they tested him, and they saw how well, and they were all amazed at how well he did. And they asked his father, said, how did he get to be so great? How did he get to be such a wise and knowledgeable Talmid Chacham? So the father said, I think it was because of one thing that happened to him, one thing that happened in his life. And I'll tell you the story. When he was in yeshiva, he was probably not much older than you are. So one day, he went over to the Gabbai in Shul, and he asked if he could have Hagbah, to lift up the Torah. The Ashkenazim do it after the Torah reading. So he asked him at the end of the Torah reading if he could lift up the Sefer Torah, get the covet of doing Hagbah. I said, fine. So he got Hagbah, and this was I think it was a weekday morning or maybe a Shabbos morning. He did Hagbah the way we do it on Simchas Torah. He didn't just do regular Hagbah, lift up the Sefer Torah with the letters facing him. He took the Sefer Torah, he crossed his hands, he lifted up the Sefer Torah, and he turned it around so that the letters were facing everybody else. It was a bit strange. It's something that we do on Simchas Torah. We don't do this during the year. Anyway, everybody started buzzing about, what was he doing? It was like a very, very bizarre thing. Anyway, at the end of davening, his Rosh Yeshiva called him over, and he took him into his office, and he said, what did you do? It was a little bit strange. It's not like you. Why did you? Everybody's talking about it. Why did you do that? So listen to what he said. The boy answered. He said, right before I had Hagbah, the person who had an aliyah, the one who was called up to the Torah, is somebody who never wants to, one of my friends, he never wants to be called up to the Torah. Why not? Because he has a terrible stutter. The words don't come out easily. He has a big problem. And sure enough, he had to say the bracha, And he couldn't get the words out. It was terribly embarrassing. And I saw he was turning red, and people were talking about him. So I thought, I didn't want to be like everybody else. I didn't want to go with the flow and go, just like everybody else. What could I do to help this person? So I came up with this idea. I would ask to have Hagba, and I would make a spectacle out of myself. And then people would start talking about me and not talk about him. And that's why he did it. And the father ended his story telling the Rosh Yeshiva, this Talmud Chacham, I think that's why my son became such a lamdan himself, such a great person. It was from that one thing, because he didn't go along with what everybody else was saying. He didn't go along with just, that's, we're having a good time at this boy's expense. He thought about it. He said, no, this is not what I want to do. And my bracha to you boys is that each one of you has this potential, this greatness within you, this godless within you to think and to not just go along with what everybody else is doing, even though they're your friends and they're good guys. But each one of you has that opportunity, that potential, that ability to think, use the brain that Hashem has blessed you with, and use the great midos that your parents and your teachers have implanted in you, and think and do what's supposed to be done so that you can be a person who is not just one of the guys, but you're somebody who shines and stands out. And Yetz Hashem, we'll hear great things from you, and you'll have a lot of nachas, and should all be matzliach. Mazel tov.
Thank you, Rabbi Bauman. Boys, you've been here, most of you have been in school for a good number of years, and by now I think you've picked up that one of the things we're very into in our school is midos. From the Shine program that some of the boys spoke about on the video that we did, I think when you were in first or second grade, we had our Be a Mensch program. This year we had Project Derech. Midos is something that we very much emphasize, and one of the most important midos is the midah of hakaras hatov. People always translate hakaras hatov as appreciation. A more accurate translation is recognizing the good. You have to see the good, and you have to recognize what it is that you have. And that does not happen automatically. I want to share a story that I heard the story from my father about Rav Shach. A young man in Kollel once came to Rav Shach, and he said to him he wants to invite him to a little kiddushol that he's making. And Rav Shach sensed a little bit of a lack of appreciation. So he said to him, let me ask you a question. How old are you? The man said, I'm 22. He said, how long are you married? He said, about a year and a half. So Rav Shach said to him, Baruch Hashem, you're 22, married a year and a half, and you had a baby. Imagine for a moment if something a little different would have happened. Let's say you would have gotten married, and you would have been married for a year, and 2 years, and 5 years, and no baby. Some of your friends are having children, so at that point, you start davening, you start giving tzedakah, and another few years passed, and it's been 10 years. You start trying to find gedolim, you get brachos, and we're davening so hard. You go to kivrei tzadikim, and another few years pass. And some of your friends are already making bar mitzvahs for their sons, and still no children. And another few years pass, and we're crying, begging to Hashem, please, we want to have children. And some of your friends are already marrying off their children. And finally, after 20 years, Hashem gives you a gift, and you had a baby. How would you feel? Would you make a little kiddushel? You'd make a wedding. You would be dancing on the roof. You'd be thanking Hashem from the depths of your neshama. Hashem saved you 20 years of having to wait. Should you have more hakaras hatov or less hakaras hatov? Should we have more appreciation or less? Boys, bli ayin hara, you have so much. You have so much of the strengths Rabbi Palagan spoke about. The first thing we have to do is recognize the good. Hakaras hatov is recognizing the good thing that we have. The Chovas HaLevavos tells us in Shar Avodas Elokim, when we recognize the good that Hashem has given us, that fuels us to go higher and higher in our Avodas Hashem. Boys, you have parents who love you, who invest so much in you. Over the years, I've spent many, many hours in touch with your parents. Meetings, phone calls, emails. They care so much about you. They love you so much. They invest so much in you. From the food you eat, to the clothes you wear, the games you play, taking you to where you need to go. We have to recognize that. We have to have hakaras hatov, recognize how much your parents do for you. Your rebbeim and teachers are amazing. You can't imagine how much they care about you and how much they regularly do for you. Typically, I have more to do with the rebbeim. I happen to have a close connection with the general studies side this year as well. Working late hours, preparing lessons so that they should not just be informative, but they should be fun. Projects, planning trips, making things exciting. You're so fortunate to have the team of rebbeim and teachers that you had this year. But it really goes beyond this year. Over the time in KES, we realized, and this was really what prompted the next video presentation, there's been a surprisingly large group of people who have helped our boys reach where they got to. The expression goes, it takes a village to raise a child. In the next video presentation, the boys wanted to express the hakaras hatov for everyone who helped them reach where they are today. Let's please give your attention to the screens as we show hakaras hatov to the individuals who make up the village of Torah Emes.
I'd like to thank Rabbi Schneidman for making the Mishnah's program.
Thank you, Rabbi Hazard, for being my third grade rabbi and for being helpful and patient.
Thank you, Miss Robin, the former librarian, for lending me books.
Thank you, Mr. Majeski, who taught me in 4th grade, for making learning fun and for...
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mrs. Dixon and Mrs. Milton for the best way of making reading fun.
Thank you, Rabbi Rosenberg, in 2nd grade, who taught me Chumash, for making it fun while we learn and giving us candy.
Thanks to Miss Winter, she was my 2nd grade teacher because she was fair, fun, and kind.
Thank you to Mrs. Lamette, my 1st grade teacher, for teaching me how to read English.
Thank you to Mrs. Sheila, who teaches 5th grade math and being such a fun teacher and doing such fun stems.
Thank you, Mrs. Zero, who taught me math.
Thank you, Mrs. Dennis, who taught me how to speak English and English for 1 year, and now I know it well.
Thank you to Rabbi Earl for helping me improve my grades and being very funny.
Thank you to Rabbi Mon, who taught me in 4th grade, for being a very creative teacher and telling good stories.
I would like to thank Andy and the security team for keeping us safe and giving us high fives.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Mrs. Berman for her efforts in running the ASU.
On behalf of 5th grade, I would like to thank Ms. Tushinsky for teaching us math
When you weren't here, we missed you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Tushinsky.
I would like to thank Rabbi Alkabetz for being such an amazing rabbi. He really made everyone feel special. I remember all those times when he played football.
I'd like to thank Rabbi Shea for being an amazing teacher and creating the very own Smile Stories.
Thank you to Dr. Berman, who was my English principal, for being patient and never getting mad at anyone.
Thank you so much, Coach Ethan and Coach Jonathan, for being the best coaches ever.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank the Rosh Yeshivos for making our school a better place every day, especially my Zaidi Rabbi Naiman.
I would like to thank the parents of the grade because they push us to strive in our learning and help us grow in the right way.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Mrs. Hoffner for being such a kind and caring secretary and for always giving me a note with such a warm smile.
I'd like to thank Rabbi G. Grossman for making a lot of jokes when I least expected it. That really cheered me up. And for being the best father in the world, looking forward to middle school.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Mrs. Waldman for being the best 1st grade teacher.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Rabbi Flynn for always supporting me and helping me grow in my Ruchnis and Avodas Hashem.
I would like to thank Mrs. Benjamin for putting up posters and decorating the hallways and for being our substitute.
I would like to thank Rabbi Ephraim Palgan for all he does for the school and for being the greatest great uncle.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Rabbi Arrow for teaching us and helping us grow so much in the Limudei Kodesh.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Rabbi Rosenberg for being the best 1st and 2nd grade rabbi.
On behalf of 5th grade, I would like to thank Mrs. Gill for making math and science fun. Generally, she made learning a great experience.
Thank you to Mrs. Tamir, who helped me and other kids. For example, she gave us kippas if we lost them. She is the best secretary ever. I'd like to thank Mrs. Searle for all the fun and amazing trips she probably spent hours on planning. All the trips from 1st grade to 5th grade were great.
I would like to thank Mrs. Lubin for all that you do. Thank you, Mrs. Yurkowitz, for always being there to help me.
On behalf of 5th grade, I would like to thank Mara Kelly for teaching me art, and we do very cool projects.
One person I would like to thank on behalf of the 5th grade is probably Miss Grossman, because whenever I'm hungry, she would give me 5 pretzels, and whenever I'm thirsty, she would give me a bottle of water.
On behalf of 5th grade, I would like to thank Mr. Friedman, my father, for fixing the computers whenever there was a problem.
I would like to thank Mrs. Grossman, our 5th grade language arts teacher, for being such a wonderful teacher, especially for having the promised transition time and letting us eat.
On behalf of 5th grade, I'd like to thank Mrs. Caldwell for all her hard work that helped improve the behavior of many students throughout the year.
I would like to thank Rabbi Schneidman for being a great rabbi. Whenever you were out of school, we missed you. I would like to thank Mrs. Chapman for helping us in coding whenever we needed help. Coding was a lot of fun.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Rabbi Amster for teaching us Mishnahs and how to use a power tool.
On behalf of 5th grade, I'd like to thank Mrs. Marlowe. She helped me with everything I needed help with, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you very much, Mrs. Marlowe.
I would like to thank Mrs. Cardenas for being one of the best and most kind teachers in KES.
I would like to thank Rabbi Porter for being a great Rebbe and teaching me everything I know. You're a great Rebbe. Thank you.
I would like to thank Rabbi Taliban for being such a good substitute and doing lots of raffles.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Greenberg for always being such a great teacher and for helping me be my best self. You helped me remember to always think positive and believe in myself.
I would like to thank Mr. Magyar for being so fun, energetic, and funny.
I would like to thank Rabbi Wiener and Mr. Isaac Akrish for taking care of the campus. If you weren't here, the school would be in pieces.
I would like to thank Rabbi Alkabaz for everything that he does for me and the school.
I'd like to thank Rabbi Grossman for always being there when anyone is in need.
I'd like to thank Rabbi Zone for teaching me in such a fun way.
I would like to thank Mrs. Deutsch for being a very good secretary.
I would like to thank Mrs. Scott for teaching me lots of different things and doing fun things with us.
On behalf of the 5th grade, I would like to thank Rabbi Reuben for being my very first Rebbe.
I would like to thank Rabbi Bauman for taking care of a lot of stuff. He's a good principal and is always there to help. And he's a very good grandfather.
give another big round of applause to our 5th grade boys. Rabbi Alkabez, in addition to teaching many of our graduates when they were in 4th grade, has really become a lifeline for them here in school. He helps them and supports them in so many ways. Although it's only his first year in the role of assistant principal, he's already contributed so much to the staff and students and plays an invaluable role in KES. Rabbi Alkabez will be calling up each boy to receive his diploma. The program will be that the Rebbeim will be coming up. Every boy will be called. We're going to be calling one boy from each class alphabetically. 5th grade Rebbeim will be coming up here onto the stage, so please be ready with your camera if you want to get a picture of it. We started a minhag a couple of years ago to say a little something about each boy as we call him up. Please give your attention to Rabbi Alkabez.
Chaim Moshe Aminov, motivated and a hard worker. Aaron Avitbo, bright and charismatic. Nadav Luxembourg, diligent and insightful. Ilan Aminov, helpful and insightful. Michal Ben Susan, patient and friendly. Eliezer Baghdadi, a leader with great maturity. Moshe Akiva Errol, clever and sincere. He's not here, but we hope he's watching on the live stream. A.B. Bernstein, perceptive and trustworthy. Yossi Blinder, fun and determined. Shmuel Becker, determined and driven. Ariel Edelstein, a great friend who has grown so much. Yair Daniarov, a chaver tov with wonderful midos. Moshe Suiak, sensitive and respectful. Gavriel Ehrlich, fun-loving and driven. Chanochi Goldberger, creative and a Baal Achrayus. Yitzi Danziger, diligent and a Baal Midos. Yossi Inglis, thoughtful and caring. Yaakov Grossman, dedicated and with Ahavas HaTorah. Ellie Deach, creative and clever. Daniel Klopfer, a hard worker with a positive attitude. Aaron Kesserman, a Balmidos and a friend to all. Noam Drang, conscientious and diligent. Isaac Levine, respectful and looks out for others. Yehoshua David Kopel, caring and such a mensch. Netanel Eli, sincere and a loyal friend. Yosef Tzvi Levine, a hard worker who has grown so much. Jonah Levy, a creative thinker and a hard worker. Mayor Friedman, a good-hearted boy who loves to have fun. Ariel Neyerman, persistent and positive. Sammy Maman, meticulous and reliable. Yoshua Goldfarb, considerate and always shows Kavod HaTorah. Aaron Netkin, dependable and a Baal Chesed. Judah Marmer, bright with a great sense of humor. Yaakov Hauser, mature and kind. Eli Schertz, helpful and polite. Chaim Moskowitz, a hard worker who has grown so much. Rafi Kiganis, responsible and determined. Yosef Shimon Weissman, a good friend who spreads positivity. Tzvi Podolsky, bright and sociable. Yermi Kopelman, bright and motivated. Sasson Yeshurun, well-spoken and shows concern for others. Ruvain Roth, enthusiastic and insightful. Yosef Shalom Lahav, well-liked and positive. Ezra Zagelbaum, persistent with a love of learning. Maishi Shapiro, a masmid with a kind heart. Isaac Majeski, perceptive and resilient. Yonatan Sharon, intelligent with great midos. Gabi Miller, organized and trustworthy. A.B. Silverstein, exuberant and helpful. Yosef Chaim Silverstein, knowledgeable and caring. Yitzchak Stoll, an Amel Batorah with great midos. Moshe David Strassman, good-hearted and fun. Shlomi Wexler, caring and a hard worker. Yosef Tzur, energetic and helpful. Jacob Wiener, helpful and creative. Moshe Wunsch, dependable and efficient. And last but not least, Zachy Wilf, innovative and a high achiever.
Okay. The next segment in our program is a wonderful highlight video going through memories of events that happened earlier this year as well as previous years. Again, this video also was put together by Rabbi Mann. I don't know if he's slept at all over the last week or two, but he keeps pulling off miracles. Please give your attention to the screen.
מקום חדש נפתח בלב, תחושה עזה ולא מוכרת, משהו בי שיתרחב, לא יהיה אותו אדם להבא שהייתי עד הלום, נולד לי ילד שיקרא לי אבא, ואיתו נולד בי גם חלום, ואני מתפלל, המלאך הגואל יברך אותו ויעיר לו את הדרך. כל ימי חיי אני מבקש אלוקיי, זה הקטן גדול יהיה, זה הקטן גדול יהיה. שנה ועוד שנה חולפת, הוא כבר מתחיל לצעוד לבד, פסיעה קטנה, פסיעה נוספת, והלוואי שלא יימד, שיהיה לו כוח עוד ללכת, גם אם קשה וכואב, ויוכל להישען על יד תומכת מידע בכל כך. Fire brennt, gute heilige Gier. Ayid. A fire brennt nur heilig in mir. A fire brennt in Herz von Ayid. Wie nur mit Zähnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A fire brennt in Herz von Ayid. du mit die Kap. Alham is bei, ach, los, sie geht mehr. Alham is bei, ach, los, sie geht mehr. Los, sie geht mehr. Oh, ein Schase, do oi, long, loi, oi, long, loi, sie geht mehr. Feier brennt, pure heilig in Gigit. A Feier brennt in Herz für Ayid. Wie nur wir sehnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A Feier brennt in Herz für Ayid. A Feier brennt, pure heilig in Gigit. A Feier brennt in Herz für Ayid. Wie nur wir sehnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A Feier brennt in Herz für Ayid. Bist Ayid, Ayid, du brennt ewig a Feier. Bist Ayid, in dir brennt ewig a Feier. Bist Ayid, in dir brennt ewig a Feier. Bist Ayid, Ayid, was brennt in dir a Feier. A Feier brennt nur heilig in Gigit. A Feier brennt in Herz von Ayid. Wie nur wir sehnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A Feier brennt in Herz von Ayid. A Feier brennt, 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 brennt. Wie nur wir sehnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A Feier brennt in Herz von Ayid. A Feier brennt, 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 brennt. Wie nur wir sehnen, es bleibt ewig brennen. A Feier brennt in Herz von Ayid.
After the boys are dismissed, we invite everyone to enjoy the refreshments and the yearbooks that our general studies teachers have worked so hard on are in those bags. Enjoy. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון גדול יהיה כשם שנכנס כן ייכנס תויר על הגופו ותויר על הגופו למחסים טויבים כשם שנכנס כן ייכנס תויר על הגופו ותויר על הגופו למחסים טויבים כשם שנכנס כן ייכנס תויר על הגופו ותויר על הגופו למחסים טויבים כשם שנכנס כן ייכנס תויר על הגופו ותויר על הגופו למחסים טויבים ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך ישמח אביך ואימך זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון גדול יהיה זה הקוטון Rupa Toira le Rupa Toira le Rupa Masim Toide Shem Shanich Masken Yikon Es Toira le Rupa Toira le Rupa La Masim Toide Shem Shanich Masken Yikon Es Toira le Rupa Toira le Rupa Masim Toide